The last big superhero movie of the summer is out, and already we want more Dark Knight.
So we're doing it by counting down Bruce Wayne's best games.
That kind of rhymed. So, hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And I'm Nervous Nick.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 Batman Games. I'm the Knight.
Where are the other drugs going?
Took it a little too far there, Nick.
Number 10.
We've said before that we wish the funding for Lego-style games would go towards making actual versions of whatever they're based on, but we'll admit that they certainly have their market.
The LEGO games have always emphasized exploring and collecting, but LEGO Batman 2 features an open world complete with tons of recognizable locations. But then they really went all out and pretty much threw in over 50 freaking characters to boot. 50!
Bonus points for using the Danny Elfman soundtrack.
Number 9.
So here's an overlooked NES gem you probably missed. Batman Return of the Joker was the sequel to the NES movie tie-in we all just love at the HQ. But like a lot of NES sequels, it has pretty much nothing to do with the original.
It's still more so than most, but you're right about it being different. For a guy who hates guns, Batman in this game sure uses a whole lot more of them.
Like the entire time.
Upgradable long-range weapons in the same super high difficulty you know the first one for make Return of the Joker feel like a Contra-style game.
But with 100% more Batman.
Number 8.
So you're strolling through Chinatown laying waste to exploding ninjas when you hitch a ride on a train which takes you straight to a battle with Peter Parker himself.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but once you've dealt damage to him, he becomes the single thing nobody wants to go up against.
Seeing the Batman is too great of a threat, Sega eventually decided to revise the game and have the player fight Satan instead.
And for the record, Satan is way less scary than Batman. Also, Revenge of Shinobi may not be a traditional Batman game, but this point is just way too cool not to include on this list.
Number 7.
And now for something completely different. As everybody knows, Batman works better alone, so the initial thought of a multiplayer Batman game made us go, what?
It's kind of like Call of Duty meets Team Fortress 2 all set in Gotham City. Amazed? Absolutely. Trampolines and grappling hooks launch you onto rooftops as the Joker is squared off against the Bats in the goofiest turf war the city has ever seen. It's amazing.
In Gotham City Imposters, it's actually cool to be wearing the hockey pads.
I'm here to... Ah! What the... Ah! What the is this? Ah!
Number 6.
You know the cool thing about cross-platform Batman games back in the day? They were totally unique from each other.
That's true. And when you played The Adventures of Batman and Robin on SNES, you got a completely different game than if you played the Genesis one. The Super Nintendo game had you methodically select which gadgets you wanted to take with you to take down Gotham's biggest criminals, and it was more about careful platforming.
Plus, this version had the grapple gun, and who doesn't love the grapple gun? Nobody.
Number 5.
You know the cool thing about cross-platform Batman games back in the day? They were totally unique from each other.
That's true. Batman Returns for NES took the form of a side-scrolling beat-em-up in the same vein as the Ninja Turtles games, complete with flying kicks, a super move, and a dash attack.
And like we said earlier, NES sequels are very rarely seen to resemble their predecessors. Case in point, this is Batman 3, the sequel to Return of the Joker.
And if you ever doubted the effectiveness of the Bat Punch, look no further than right here.
Bitch!
Number 4.
Hey, you know what the cool thing about cross-platform Batman games was back in the day? They were totally unique from each other.
Are you even reading the script that I
Whereas
wrote for
the
you?
Super Nintendo version of Batman and Robin was about gadgets and took a more leisurely pace, on the Genesis the action gets ramped up tenfold.
In this game, the only gadgets you need are your batarangs and your fists.
We call that Batmaning.
And maybe a Game Genie, because this game won't let you win so easily.
If you suck.
Number 3.
You know the cool
The
thing
SNES version of Batman Returns is one of those games that made you truly wonder why making a good movie tie-in is apparently so hard. When translating Tim Burton's last Batman film into a video game, Konami did what they did best. Make it a Batman beat-em-up.
When you're brawling through the streets, the game did an outstanding job of making the Caped Crusader look like a beast. I mean, he's strong, he's fearsome, he's brutal. Seriously, throwing bad guys in the walls is like the most satisfying thing in the world.
Number 2.
Oh boy, one of my personal favorite NES games just happens to feature the Big Bad Bat. If you played it, you know why. The awesome wall jumping mechanic made for some super tricky jumps that make you just think, nice job, game. You're great.
Trade West was smart when they made this. They realized that #1 priority when making a video game adaptation is making a good game, not being totally faithful to the character. That's why Bruce uses weapons such as the rocket-firing pistol, the boomerang, the shuriken, and the Batman.
The freaking Batman! Seriously, we're gonna make that joke every single time we talk about the game. Every single time. Because we started that joke in 2006. Let's hit the old recap before we hit #1. Number 10, Lego Batman 2.
Number 9, Batman Return of the Joker.
Number 8, Revenge of Shinobi. It's not a Batman game, but it's cool.
Number 7, Gotham City Imposters.
Number 6, The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Super Nintendo.
Number 5, Batman Returns for NES.
The Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Genesis is number 4.
Number 3, Batman Returns for Super NES.
And number 2, Batman on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
It's number 1.
Who are we kidding? The only games that have gone beyond being fantastic on their own and went ahead and perfected the feel of Batman had Arkham in the title. Batman's stealth, brutality, gadgets, and intellect are all present, not to mention the key voice actors from the animated series.
He surrendered almost without a fight. I don't like it.
These games are the ultimate fan service to the die-hard Batman fan.
From Arkham Asylum to Arkham City, your favorite villain is in there somewhere, and Rocksteady Studios did them justice. The Dark Knight's combat style is so much fun to play with, especially when you string together long combos using all his gadgets.
Ultimately, the two games are similar enough that if you saw we put one of them on the list, you would know the other one is coming right after it. And besides, this is our damn list, and if you don't like it, suck it.
You just can't go wrong choosing one or the other. Both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City will put you right in the center of Batman's world and will deliver plenty of wow moments that will remind you not only why you're a fan of Batman, but why you just love being a gamer.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Nice of you to say, but you of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me.
Joker, you creepy motherfucker. Hey, guess what? We got a list of 19 reasons why we love Batman on ScrewAttack's. So if you love Batman like we do, make sure you go to the link in the description and check it out. Right, Nick?
Yeah, this isn't the take.
Why not?